My next set of questions is about Infanrix Hexa and SIDS. My questions are on the vaccine Infanrix Hexa using information contained in Freedom of Information 3828 Document 9 and Freedom of Information 1345 Document 1. Constituents are raising this issue with me. This vaccine is approved to protect against 9 different strains of 6 different diseases, and for brevity, these are diphtheria, tetanus, 3 strains of pertussis, hepatitis B, influenza type B, and 3 types of inactivated polio viruses. Each vial contains lactose, sodium chloride, aluminium chloride, hydroxide, aluminium phosphate, phenoxyethanol medium, potassium chloride, polysorbate 20 and 80, formaldehyde, glycine, sodium phosphate, dibasic dihydrate, potassium phosphate monobasic, neomycin sulfate, polymyxin B sulfate, and 2 phenoxyethanol. There's a lot happening in that single jab. You give all of those chemicals to 6-week-old babies, and then again a month later, then again as a booster in many cases. To my question, there are 17 reported deaths on the DAENS, that's the database of adverse event notifications, from this product, and another 26 deaths on your internal adverse event management system, AEMS, going back to 2010. My first question is, the report from 2010, the child died on the same day as the injection, and there were no other suspected medications or health issues. The child was injected and he died. Why is that still on the adverse event management system and not on the public database of adverse event notifications? Isn't 14 years long enough to process the report?
So there's 2 questions there.
Yep.
On the first, I think it's going to be very difficult for us to give you a satisfactory answer now on the basis of a 14-year-old report, so we will have to take that on notice as well.
That's fine.
And the second question, sorry, Senator?
Why is the report still on the adverse event management system and not on the public database of adverse event notifications?
Was that the first or the second question? Sorry.
The second one.
Okay, then I think the answer is probably the same.
Same thing, okay.
Yeah.
10 of the 28 deaths on the adverse event management system record cause of death as sudden infant death syndrome, and 3 on the database of adverse event notifications. Can you confirm that in a limited number of cases, routine childhood vaccinations have caused sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS?
Thank you for your question, Senator. It's very important to remember that reporting of an adverse event or death to the TGA does not necessarily mean that the vaccine caused the death, or even that the reporting doctor necessarily considered that the death was caused by the vaccine. We strongly encourage all consumers and health professionals to have a very low threshold for reporting suspected adverse events, even if there is only a very small chance that the vaccine was the cause. To date, the TGA has not identified SIDS as an adverse event associated with Infanrix.
Okay, thank you. There are 14 other cases of babies dying within 3 days of injection with this product, including 3 others that died on the same day. Why hasn't the TGA investigated these deaths, and why are they still hidden on the adverse event management system, which I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, is internal?
That is correct. The TGA's Adverse Event Management System is the database that contains all the detailed information regarding adverse events reported to the TGA. The database of adverse event notifications for medicines is our public database that includes de-identified adverse event information. The vast majority of reports made to the TGA are included in the public database. However, where the case has been rejected or it's a duplicate, these cases are not published. In terms of why an individual case is not included in the public database, we would need to take those questions on notice.
Could you also tell me then, as part of the other part of the question, why hasn't the TGA investigated these deaths?
Again, we can confirm on notice.
Yep.
The TGA, though, does have robust places in place for investigating the deaths of reported deaths after Vaccination, as we've previously advised, we work very closely with state and territory jurisdictional immunisation committees and public health units to investigate any death that's reported to us after vaccination. So while I cannot confirm the details of the individual cases,
we don't want
they will
details.
have been investigated by the TGA.
Here's your ideal opportunity to show off the TGA now, on notice. There are 14 other cases of babies...
If I can just respond, Senator. It is actually very difficult to give a fulsome response to cases that are in some instances 14 years old. And I would hope
you could tell us why.
I would hope that you would. I would hope, Senator, that you would not want us to be providing information to you without the information that we require. So I understand.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I'm saying is I'm assuming, Senator, that you would not want us to prevaricate or invent information simply for the purposes of providing an answer. So as you said earlier yourself, an appropriate reason for taking a question on notice is because we don't have the information in front of us.
That's fine.
So Dr. Lata has endeavoured to make clear the processes that we do follow for the purposes of giving you specific information about some specific cases that you have raised.
Yep.
We will need to take that on notice.
Absolutely. That's fine. That's in accordance with the witness guide. There are 14 other cases of babies dying within 3 days of injection with this product, including 3 others that died on the same day. Why hasn't the TGA investigated these deaths? Sorry, I've asked that question. 29 of the deaths were male babies and 14 were female. Have you investigated why the Hexa product is twice as likely to kill male babies and female babies?
So I'll go to Dr. Lata in a moment. The assertion or the implication that you make that there is a twice as likely to kill babies, I think, is an inappropriate statement to make, and it's not reflective of an understanding of vaccine safety or statistics.
Okay.
Dr. Lata?
I would second that. Again, reporting of an adverse event does not mean that that adverse event is causally related to the vaccine. And we do investigate all deaths of adverse events following immunisation.
Thank you for that. That's finished my second set. I'd like to have a third set after Senator Rennick.
You've still got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I don't want to start the third set and then
Okay.
leave it halfway through.
Sure.
Thanks, Chair.
Just noting that we've got